You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Good evening, and welcome to the Unveiled podcast, where all conversations are safe, revealing, and uncuffed. Tonight's show is partnered with Chris's Dishes, Jenn Chavez Photography, and sponsored by WSBI LLC, your resources for success podcasts. I am one of your hosts, Chris, with my lovely wife, Jenn,
hey,
and Carmine and Kimberly Pesce. And on tonight's episode, for the month of April, we will be discussing what makes a real husband, trophy or not.
Still funny.
It is.
No matter how many times you say it, it'll be very funny.
So, trophy husband or real husband or whatever you want to call it, it's real significant other. How about that? We'll keep it so everybody understands. What's your view, my lovely wife?
You are my real husband, and guess what? Your ass is a trophy. I mean, I don't want to have to say it any other way, because the bottom line here is...
Do you polish him every night?
I mean, sometimes. if he behaves nicely.
Yepper, just like the brass.
I couldn't resist.
You had to go there,
He
didn't
did,
you?
and I love him for it. You know,
This one might get the
gosh.
most listens. Thanks,
So-
people, for tuning in.
Oh, Lord, help
But you know
us.
what? I mean, you guys have to accept certain things. That whole thought of being a trophy wife does extend into the male world also. Trophy women, trophy wives, historically just stayed home, took care of the house, had to look a certain way, had to dress a certain way, were treated a certain way. I think we've evolved, and now men can be considered trophies. I mean, listen, arm candy. It's all because you're squat butt. I mean,
Ass to the grass.
ass to the grass.
Hey, and you know, it's as the generations, and we all span different generations here. What was accepted in the 40s or 50s and 60s has changed dramatically to a different role.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not the visual role as much as it is the caregiver, the person who does everything you need to have done.
True.
And what one person seeks is different than another person.
I don't think that we put the same, I'll call it attributes to a trophy husband, though, that we did with a trophy wife. Like, everything I said about a woman was all pretty much the physical and what her skill set was. Trophy husband, yes, I think it's more acceptable to say trophy husband than it is to say trophy wife.
Absolutely.
Which, again, another double standard, but okay.
Although,
people say it all the time. Like,
It doesn't make it right.
Doesn't make it right to call it a trophy husband, but people look at it like, dude, you're awesome. You get to be the guy that stays home and does all the stuff. But then again, it's like, you're the guy that stays home and does all the stuff. That's a lot. There can be a lot of stuff. I mean, on any given day, I can come up with a number of things that needs to be done to include the normal everyday chores. You know?
And then it's also not always acceptable.
Yeah.
Because men were always known to be the breadwinner, right? And women were always portrayed to be the caregiver, the stay-at-home mom, to cook the food. There was those roles that everybody was required or known to do. right? So even today, if you have the so-called trophy husband or the man who stays at home, the at-home hubby, who does those chores that were known for women to do, today that's not always an acceptable thing, whether we agree with that or not. But as we talk about a lot about, and even with our relationship, it's about conforming what works for you, not what works for everybody else.
Exactly. And we'll use me as an example. I absolutely love cooking, and everybody at this table knows that.
Right.
I mean, I put as much heart into every single meal that I do, whether it's a snack or if it's breakfast or whatever. I just love doing it, and to not being able to do it sometimes just drives me nuts, Or then like yesterday, I mean, what did I do yesterday? Do we got to pause here? Oh, okay. I got the finger up. No, don't pause.
Keep talking.
No, yesterday, I took apart and I fixed a toilet. Prior to making dinner, I washed my hands, so you know. So I did. We had a leaky toilet, so I had to fix the toilet.
I wasn't sticking my hands in that thing. Not a chance. But it's interesting because I think the expression of being a trophy anything, trophy wife, trophy husband, trophy significant other, whatever you want to call it, is more than just a look, and it's more than just a skill. You don't have to be home, working full time. Both of you both work full time. You come home, you have your chores that you execute, you have your responsibilities in the house. And to me, that makes it even more of value. And if you think of a trophy, what does a trophy represent? It represents something of value, something of worth, something that is important.
Something that you earned.
Oh, I've earned your ass.
not something utilized for participation.
Right, exactly. Not a participation trophy. But, the definition has evolved along with the roles that you play. Like, you love cooking, and we've discussed this before. I perfectly fine never cooking a day in my life. And although I have become better at it in the last 3 weeks. That said, here we are, we're in April now, and Passover and Easter and all the holidays. And normally, for me growing up, it was always the women that were doing the cooking in the house.
Absolutely. Right.
And never, unless it was a weeknight, would I see my dad doing any of that stuff. Chris is in the kitchen more than I am. Gardening. We're both outside. I don't know about you all, but I'm sure it's the same thing. Easter, who did the cooking?
Yeah, the women. It was something that we would just do. It was the known thing to do, right?
Well, yeah, traditionally, right?
Right.
I'm thinking back to, my mom passed away at a very early age. 12, 13 was when I lost her. And I cannot really remember her traditional role other than being the trophy wife, right? Because I know my dad did most of the cooking after she passed, and assumed all those roles, not only the breadwinner, but
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
And we relied on each other, my sister and I, and we did those domesticated roles, right? Except for, going out and having a job. Ours was to go to school, house was cleaned, cooking, things like that. So I think whoever listens to this podcast, there's going to be some sort of resonating theme. Some it's going to be traditional, some it's going to be defined more like mine, what I just said. It's going to be changed. It's going to be a reversal. And today we're seeing more of it. Now, whether that's everybody's woke or they're getting married later on in life and they're more mature and they understand that it's a give and take relationship rather than a one-way thing. I don't know what the answer is, but I think everybody who listens is going to find some sort of commonality in everything that we talk about.
I mean, like,
I agree.
The point of parents, my parents next year will have been married for 50 years.
God
yeah,
bless.
50 years. 50 years. And to this day, I can tell you the routine to the T. And it's the same routine they've had to the T. And the only time I've ever seen my dad cook is if he grilled something. That's really...
There you go.
I've never
But that's
seen...
even when his mother goes
Right.
away. She leaves meals for him.
Yeah.
Well, my mom's the same way. Their parents will be married 61 years this month.
God
so
bless.
Wow.
it's the same thing, you know. But it's what they like. It's what they're used
Right.
to.
Yes.
Right. So if my mom's gone for a period of time, even though my dad will say, "Look, I can take care of myself," and he can, but it's just who she is.
Right.
That's what she likes to do. And if it is a long period of time, she may do a couple. But it's not that it's required, you know.
Right.
I mean,
he can get up and go and eat for himself and do certain things for himself. But I think there was a period of time where, yeah, she would definitely get up and say, yeah, I'm going to have these meals ready for you because I know I'm going to be gone for a certain time, because he runs his own business too. Mm-hmm. And then, but I can remember when we were kids, and I remember when there was times where she worked a second shift, so Daddy would take us out to dinner, and he would try to make meals, and we would be like, "Yeah, Dad, you're good, but
Stop.
This isn't working. This isn't working."
I mean, it's like yesterday.
So
Yesterday at our gym, we were having this exact conversation, and the gym owner is like, "Yeah, I do, the laundry, I do so on and so forth," and because he's home a lot more. He owns a business where there are certain hours that they're open and certain hours that they're closed. And then we got into the conversation about me doing laundry. Like, when the wife and I started dating, she wrote on a 3x5 card how to do laundry for me. And I still have that. And people have seen that and asked me, like, why the hell do you still have this? Because in the event that I die, I will know how to do my laundry. Because if I do it wrong, I am completely screwed by the ghost of my wife, That's the reason why.
So I've got to say
oh
this.
Lord, I did you go? Don't you bring this up?
Well, I do the laundry too, right? And it's all fun and games until you lose a sock.
Oh no!
And then
No!
And then it's all hell. It's like, where's my sock? I don't know. Maybe I ate it.
No. What I'm saying is I'm not.
He's not allowed.
Let me tell you. This is my extent of do the laundry. Honey, can you take the laundry baskets downstairs? Yes, dear. Honey, can you carry the laundry baskets upstairs? Yes, dear. That's it.
And that was only when I was hurt.
That's where it starts and stops. We're talking, we have had a broken leg. We have had freaking mouth surgery, COVID, everything. Don't touch the laundry.
Don't touch the laundry.
Don't touch
Like,
the
she
laundry.
literally sat in the chair with her leg propped up when it was broken and folded the laundry and made me take it upstairs. Not put it away, just take it upstairs. Because when we went to bed, oh no, don't say it's not.
No, it's very true. That's because you don't know how to put away laundry.
See, there you go.
See? So we all have different talents. Doing the laundry is easy because it's just separating. It's putting the stuff in the machine, taking the stuff out of the machine into the dryer, and then folding it to some degree. Sometimes
to some degree?
people do not like the way you fold things.
Very true.
When she folds things,
Does it
it's
make
like,
you
I know I didn't fold it the way you want it. I don't care as long as it fits in the drawer, really.
No.
But
No.
I would much rather have it folded a certain way because
It has
I
to.
know that shirts fit better when you fold them properly.
Yes, and if you put them vertically,
Wait,
that way you take them out.
Wait. I gotta get one. On the laundry subject.
I'm going to stab him because I know what you're going to say. He's about to make fun of me
Listen, the tutorial I get from Martha Stewart, okay, on how to fold a fitted sheet. No,
That's
Jack.
this.
No!
No, that is not that. No. You do not. No. You cannot do that.
Oh my God.
Folding
Two,
a
sometimes
fitted-
3 people to fold a fitted sheet.
It's like folding an American
Not
flag.
necessarily.
Are you
need
spastic?
8 people.
No,
Six.
you need 2 hands. You're done. Fold
hands.
it.
There is no 2 hands.
There's corners, people.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
that
There's
convoluted.
no corners. It's fitted.
It can be
God.
difficult
You're trying-
sometimes, but you don't need more than 2 hands to do it. It just takes a little bit longer.
That's like saying that you can fit a square peg in a round hole.
I can.
I think many more people would be divorced if they had to.
over
fitted
laundry.
sheets.
There's fitted sheets. Oh Lord.
Hey,
God.
yeah, but yeah. So yeah, you bring up a good point though, Carmine. Like everyone's got a certain way of doing things, and to the point of being a trophy, because I like the concept.
Mm-hmm.
I like the concept of you complete the parts of me that I'm looking for that make me happy, and I do the same for you. Like
Perfect.
I think that is what the trophy truly is. It's I know what I bring to the table. Now, I'm not afraid to dine alone. Let me be very clear.
Exactly.
But at the same time,
Exactly.
why dine alone when you can dine with somebody else and know what they're bringing to that table? And that to me is what the trophy is. It's the, hey, you know what? We were out last weekend in our garden, and you know, it's work. It's gross. We finished. We were dirty. We were sweaty. And he went to give me a kiss. I'm like, don't touch me. I am so dirty and gross. And you know what? I was like, but that's okay for him.
Right.
It doesn't bother him. And in his mind, I am his trophy wife. Am I a size 0? No. Am I big boobed and blonde hair? Well, 50% there. But, you know, yes. But these are the things that we look for. Like if somebody were to say to you, what is it about Carmine that fills you, that makes him your trophy? Like, what would it be?
Well, I think for us, the trophy part for me is that I've never had anybody in my life who does the things that he does. So I never had anybody who could come home and does the laundry and knows how.
Minus the fitted sheet, clearly, which we'll have a tutorial later.
Well, just I
But
mean,
I don't think it's important to you
watch,
how the sheet is folded either.
No, it isn't.
So that's a good thing, right?
Right.
And we
with
actually,
you, it's like fist fight.
Oh my God!
right, and for us,
no. Oh, go ahead.
well, and even for us, I mean, you know, we get up every morning, we make the bed together. I mean, you know, he does, and I have to beg to do the laundry. I literally have to beg now to do the laundry if I want to do the laundry. I actually have to beat him to get to the laundry room. Because he loves to do laundry. You know, and
So I made sure that when she got home from the trip, there was no laundry other than
what I had did when I came
right.
from got home from my trip. And even then, I was like, oh, you know, I did all the laundry. I said, but you know what? I'll just fold the clothes in the morning. I'm going to the bedroom. All of a sudden, he's not even there. I'm like, where are you at? What is he doing?
Laundry.
folding
The laundry. So it's just who he is. I mean, the same thing with the dishes. He loves washing dishes. You know, and the only thing we get into it is about the cooking or when we're in the kitchen by the stove. I'm like, if I say
we need a bigger kitchen
and like get out the kitchen.
with 2 sinks.
We can't.
and two burners.
We cannot cook together. That is
it's not a thing.
That is not a thing.
Yeah. Last night, popcorn.
We got into it about the popcorn.
It's like shit.
I thought I was going to kill him. He thought he was going to kill me. I'm like, dude, get out. I had to get out of his way because we cannot cook together.
Did you just microwave the popcorn?
Yeah, and I don't like microwave popcorn. We tried it.
Yeah,
but
we tried this
we
new
didn't like
thing
it,
that was on Facebook and stuff. It looked good. We did it. It's like, well, this really sucks. This $50 I'll never get back in my life. But we'll go over it later. But I don't even want to tell you the name. I don't want to disparage.
Yeah, just let it go. Let it go. Yeah,
but I'll show you what it is.
We just found that those are the things that we can do, and we've learned those things we cannot do. So I do most of the cooking around the house, right? So I have found that we just can't cook together.
Okay.
We have learned that very quickly. Like, nope, get out the kitchen. When I say I'm going to cook, move away. But what do you want me to help with? Nothing.
So we know what those boundaries are, right? And we it's not a big deal.
Right.
It causes tension for a little bit.
Yep.
Because I tell you, yesterday I was pissed about the popcorn.
Yes, he was.
I was pissed about the popcorn. It's like, I'm reading the instructions because it says, do this first. And it's like, put it on 2 minutes. No, put it on 3 minutes. It says
popcorn.
2 to 4
you know,
minutes.
The popcorn machine, the popcorn that says, and it gives you the automatic, the exact time that he needed. He didn't want to hear it, so I was like, you know what?
The instructions clearly said, knowing that microwaves
He's like,
all are
let it
different,
go, because he was getting on my nerves.
Just time it 2 to 4 minutes. When it's just slowing down the pop, then you shut it off. She hits the button. She tells me it's 3 minutes.
No,
it's not 3 minutes.
It's under 2 minutes. I said,
Right.
but if you need a little bit more, we can add a little bit more, right? But I said, let me just walk away because he was working my nerves to the end.
I love that.
Working my nerves. So I
She's
said,
so
you're
right.
not
I won't.
done.
I won't
Clear.
relent. I will not
Done.
relent. It was in black and white. I said, look.
And then in the first
Right
batch,
there.
the first batch, he was almost burnt it up. So it was like, you know what? We're done. We're done.
Now I'm on popcorn.
It was funny.
Just so
At
everybody's
the break,
clear,
we'll make popcorn.
I cook my popcorn on the stovetop.
Well, that's what I
and
do,
not
too.
Jiffy Pop either.
Well, and we've done both ways. We've done the regular homemade.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of things, but we just realize that when it comes to certain things, like the cooking and certain,
Yeah.
I do that. We just can't do it together. It's just too much tension.
I think
And a part of it is that for us, we're so much alike in a lot of ways that's the reason why we bang. And yes, we bang
both
heads
stubborn.
because we're both stubborn. We've been by ourselves for a very, very long time. So when you're used to doing everything by yourself, we've had to learn to figure out how to work together on certain things, right?
Yeah.
And so having that trophy on both sides, we've had to learn how to do that. Even when it comes to certain things like just cleaning the house. You know, I like to vacuum. He likes to vacuum. I'm like, can you just let me vacuum, please? You know what I mean? It's like, we got to fuss about the vacuum. I want to vacuum, you know, so he'll just go clean the bathrooms. I'm like, good, just go clean the bathrooms. And so we just get to the point, you know what, we'll just bring the maid in. Because it just
I mean, look, that's where my solution is.
And then we clean before
the maid gets
in.
here.
But he does. What the hell is wrong with you people?
that's because there's stuff that's picked up and it makes you look like a slob if it's not picked
You're
up.
paying
And we're
them
not
to do a
slobs,
job.
though. That's
not
what
to
we
have
do.
our PJs laying out and whatnot, or
There's
having-
only one thing that needs to be
or
picked up in our house.
There's not one.
The things that are annoying.
Our weapons. That is it. That is the only thing that needs to be put away. It's 2 of us in a house.
No.
The things that annoy us, either together or separately annoy us, are so insignificant,
Right.
And they're laughable. That's the great. So I could laugh at a lot of stuff she does. She could laugh at a lot of stuff I do, and I don't really care, right? Because it's not
not
personal.
right.
It's
Right.
not personal. Like, you're not folding the clothes properly. It's not like that. You know, it's like there's no adversarial thing there.
I have one personal thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
one, just one. It's the methodology of cutting an onion.
Ooh. Well, you know what? I don't think I really know how to cut an onion.
Because
I
there's a reason. There's a reason. Because she has asked me time and time again, how do I cut this to use it for this application? Because a lot of people don't understand. Like, when you cut an onion, and this is coming from a chef perspective, people, okay, that you cut an onion for its particular use. So if you're going to dice it, you do it a particular way. I've shown her hundreds of times. But no matter what, it's always, I have to cut this in the middle of the equator. And it's just like, now I can't.
That's the traditional thing.
No, it's not.
No,
Because
no,
now,
I mean,
because
for
now
not-
it's like
I
I
don't
can't
ever
use.
cut it like
for
I
not
can't
cooked.
use this. I can't use the onion unless it's either to make onion rings or to put it in the chopper. And I just want to dice it by hand. It's like, Jesus, it's killing me.
You don't have a slap chop?
A what?
Showing my age. That little plastic thing you put and you just chop.
Oh, we have something like that, but like I don't use. I mean, I still do everything by hand. Julienne my onions, or
Excellent.
dice it, or
Excellent. I
make
value
onion
you.
rings. That's the only thing. Every time you cut an onion, I just want to take it and I just want to heave it somewhere.
Wow.
Guess you won't be having any onion flavor in any of your damn food from now on.
No, I'll just cut it.
I'm fine with you just cooking.
There you go.
See? Solution.
Solution is already there. Just keep cooking.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Until she comes over and she's like, "Can I help? Can I do this?" And I'm like, "You're taking away the
So
stuff."
can
that
I
like
say
to
this
do."
one thing? It's not. The relationships here seem like it's not a score sheet
Right.
or a tally of tasks. Mm-hmm. It's the combination of what you do, what I do, what we both do together that we consider to be that trophy thing.
Which yes,
Right.
and I think that's a
Absolutely.
huge evolution from where it came from. And you said it before about it being generational. I think the generations today, they want that equality. They want to know that they can count on their partner. Like, it's not his responsibility to cook every morning for breakfast. He, right now, gets up and has to leave the house to go to the office. So while he's getting dressed, I'll make breakfast. And it's fine. He appreciates that he's eating before he goes. God help him, because it's at 6 o'clock in the morning. But he's eating, and great. And then whichever one is going to cook dinner, that's what it is. And
Safer for everyone.
it's these little things that you want to feel like you're contributing to a relationship.
Exactly.
And if me making eggs and sausage in the morning is my contribution and he appreciates it, that's all that matters. Or here,
Absolutely.
dishwasher.
Exactly.
What?
I can't stand him loading the dishwasher.
Well, we don't really actually use the dishwasher.
Hardly. Yeah,
It's
we have to remind
and I think
ourselves
we have
to
to
use
run
it.
it like once a month, so
yeah.
it doesn't like.
Doesn't die on us.
Well, that's funny because my mom has had her dishwasher for 22 years, and it's still used for storage. She has never used it.
Well,
ever.
that
Wow.
I know people that don't cook in the oven and they use that for storage. There's plates in the oven.
People don't cook in the oven.
Yeah, there's a lot of people do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you turn on the oven. It's
Right.
like, oh no! I gotta take the dishes out. What are
Damn.
the dishes doing in
Doing
the
in the
oven?
oven, exactly.
No, ours is like that only because we
Put the cast iron
put
in
the
there.
cast iron in there
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
cook off just after you're done when you're done
Right.
cleaning it. It's like, God dang it, there's this hot pan in here. Now I have to take it out. And...
See, now I wish we had a younger couple as a guest today to be like, do you consider your spouse a trophy? Because what is it that they're looking for?
Well, I think, and that's great. A great segue. We should probably do a session with, like, my son and daughter-in-law, right?
Right.
Not traditional,
Right.
How's that?
but all how they offset each other.
Right.
And I'm sure that Mike, if he listens to this, he'll probably kill me for saying this, but I'm sure he can be a real pain in the ass. But we all can be, right?
Who can't
Of
be?
course.
I mean,
Of course.
that's just part of who we are.
I want to like hear about this not traditional comment.
Well, not traditional where you know, in I want to say the olden days, the man dictated everything that was done. Whether if he didn't like what his wife was saying or doing,
Right. Or
say,
even
you-
wearing or anything.
it was
Yeah.
like you need take that off and put something else on. You need to cook this way. You need to, you know, it's too salty. It's too whatever.
That's right.
It was always a critique.
Yep.
Whether you dressed, whether you cleaned, whether you cooked, whether you went shopping, you didn't get this. To me, it was like, oh, you didn't get the Entenmann's donuts? What the hell's wrong with you?
Right. That's exactly.
But
yeah.
yeah. So
I think that's interesting. It's that traditional mindset of, like, so you guys know when Chris goes to the supermarket, it's a mission, right? He goes in, he gets what he needs, and he comes out.
Right.
And he'll take Avery with him, and Abe does what Abe does. And I appreciate that. So again, it's those traditional. I remember being young, my mother would go to the supermarket. My dad was home working in the garden or in his shop or whatever it was he was doing. I can tell you right now, he was not doing laundry. Not even a little. He was usually smoking in the house too. But again, different times, showing age. And just hearing some of the things that people who are younger value. So we have a lot of people in our social circle where we work out who are single. And one, you couldn't pay me to date right now. And I said this to somebody the other day, yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, Thursday.
Yes.
You could not pay me to be in the dating market. It is scary. You don't know what is on the other end of that telephone, or that internet connection, the cell phone. I'm saying not old school phone. And what are they going to value? What are they going to bring? Because it's all smoke and mirrors now. There's an expression. What is that expression where you pretend to be somebody?
catfishing.
Catfishing. Thank you. So this woman was seeing somebody, and then all of a sudden, this person became totally different and wasn't being the same way in their communication. It wasn't having that same engagement, if you will. Mm-hmm. And that segued our conversation into, well, what are you looking for? Because she is funny, she's intelligent, she's beautiful, she is a riot. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. And she's like, why can't I just find somebody who can keep up with me instead of trying to either outdo me or, profess how much better they are?
Right. Guys are stupid, and that's what they do.
Well, yeah.
And let's not just blame it on the guys. There's a lot of these women who are just as bad, if not worse.
Fair.
True statement.
Because right now the biggest thing is about competition. Mm-hmm. Women have to outdo the men because
something to prove.
It's something to prove. It's about societies put us kind of in that predicament to have to outprove everybody. We don't need a man for this. We don't need this. We don't need you for this. We only need you for that. So it's a two-way street. Mm-hmm. I can tell you in my experience, of having to be after being divorced for almost, and single for almost 20 years before Carmine got married, and having to go through the process of trying to date. It was the worst experience you could possibly go through. Going through and going through dating agencies and trying to do the online dating. I've tried it all. The worst experience you could have. And there's I guess you could say there's no right way or wrong way. You try to do the traditional way of dating. Nobody even understands what that is anymore. Nobody understands what it means to, what's the old-fashioned term of dating? Court. They have no clue what that word even is. It's sad. It's like what? What's courting? If you say it, they have no idea.
I mean, I can see that.
Carmine understood what courting was. He knew exactly what he was doing from day one. Whether I had a clue that he was even doing it, he knew the steps of it. But the average individual today, even women today, don't understand what courting means.
Not at all.
Because like I said, we're so busy trying to be competitive and compete and say, I don't need this, I only need you for that. I have to outprove it. Granted, you need to come and be prepared. You should have your everything on the table and ready to go. You definitely should be able to take care of yourself. I always believe that if you can't take care of yourself, there's no way you can take care of anybody else.
Agree.
But at the same token, if you don't have your mind opened and ready to be flexible and know that you have, in order to have a relationship, that the two of you will never make it if you can't bring it together, right?
Absolutely. And that competitiveness, mm-hmm. It's not just me, I want his attention, so is it me versus you?
Right.
Which one of us are going to vie for his attention?
Right.
It's also, I am now competitive with the people I'm seeing or I'm dating, and that to me, and I know I am a competitive person. I have finally, at 52, accepted this as fact. I'm competitive with him. If we're out going for a run, mm-hmm. I will absolutely keep pace with him or be ahead of him, because it drives me crazy if he thinks that I can't hold my own. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he could care.
I could care.
That final half mile is a sprint.
I could care. No, it's not. No.
Oh, for me, it is.
I could care less.
Yes, it is.
Like, I don't. A lot of people say, like, I don't consider myself competitive. The only person I compete with is myself. Like, I'll give you an example. Sometimes you just do some stupid shit because you don't read instructions right, and you end up wanting to compete against yourself just because you're like, hey, I can do this. I can hold 320 pounds static for 30 seconds, That's when the instruction clearly said 110% of the max, not...
Are you still bothered by this?
Yeah, I'm so bothered by that, But, I mean, there's hundreds of things that I do for us. And some particularly for her because I know, one, she enjoys them, or two, because it's a benefit for her. Like... having our fireplace. We have a fireplace in our house. It actually burns wood, and every year since we've been living in that house, it's like, all right, gotta have wood split, stacked, ready to go before the November comes in. I can't touch her because she has Raynaud's, and it's like touching an icebox for 6 months, So she loves having the fireplace going. It's an awesome thing to have. It's just one of those things. And, I don't expect her to go out and freaking whip out the chainsaw and start felling trees in the backyard.
You don't want me having a chainsaw. We will have no trees in the backyard. They will all become firewood. But what is one thing Carmine does for you that means more to you than anything?
Wow.
Why are you laughing?
Keep it clean, people.
I can list a lot of things.
It's the little things.
It's the little things.
So what
that he
happens
does
is
for me,
we'll be sitting on the couch,
Yep.
and she'll nudge over and just lift her shirt from the back, and it's like, okay, now I have to scratch your back. It's like don't.
I love that.
All right.
And he's right. I'll be like, please.
and it's like a pitiful please.
That's kind of, so what she does is like, so we have like two recliners that has like a little thing in the middle, a little console, and she'll like slide her hand under mine, and then she'll put it on top, and I'll sit there and she'll be like, hit my hand, and it's like, oh, this
It's like
is
the dog. With
well,
the
no,
nose.
well, yeah, but it's her indication of like, can you kiss the top of my hand?
I need love.
Yes.
Yeah, he's right there. Yeah, I just rub me, just please.
Yeah.
And like, just don't do the half. I don't like the half thing. Like, don't rub the top of my shirt. No, go underneath.
She's got a whole thing for you.
Higher, lower.
Make sure you get that done right.
That's right.
It's like,
right.
but it's never like that. It's like you know how you want your back rubbed.
Right.
But you know how you want your back scratched. It's two different things, but it's still like harder, less
Left,
harder.
up.
Your nails need to be done.
But he started it. He spoils me, right? So he will he'll rub my feet, and I love it. It's the littlest things. It's not the
It's
the
never
big
told
things,
type of things. It just
I
happens,
just love
right?
it. Yeah,
And same thing, the things that she does that aren't like asked for, but just happen.
he loves when
It's
I rub
hard
his
to-
bald head.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
When I rub his bald head.
Oh, okay.
His head, his big.
I was going to say, we're the
head.
brown chickens and cows.
His
We need to hear.
top head.
I got you now.
So we're going into left field.
Keep your mind clean.
But it's I don't know. It's corny sometimes. It's just really corny. Just like the little thing on the refrigerator.
Yeah, I love my love notes.
But, it makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So that's if anybody takes anything away from this, it's the little things,
Not the big things.
not the big things.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's your birthday and I bought you a ring. It's the little things that happen day to day, week to week, and stuff like that make it make you a trophy.
Right.
If you want to use that word, trophy husband, but a good husband. And those things,
It's like we love flowers. He knows I love flowers. So we literally almost every week or every other week or so we get flowers. Yesterday we went and got our flowers.
We were spending like 20ny minutes at Wegmans saying which
Getting our
ones.
flowers.
So we wound up getting 3 of them. That
that's cute, the little one.
right?
And then we have a little one over there by the. So look over towards where the books are sitting on
Yeah.
see the little ducky,
It's a goose.
a goose or whatever it is.
goose.
Duck goose.
And
Duck
the-
goose.
And the other ones, the big ones.
But that's what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And I think having that trophy, I mean, again, it used to have just such a negative connotation to it. I don't think it's negative.
No.
I am proud to say that my husband is my trophy. Like, I'm his trophy. We are a team. We trophy together, I guess. I don't know, stick us both on a mantle, dust us off every now and again. Like, they're just things that we do for each other that, one, would mean nothing to anyone else outside of of us, right? And it could be something as simple as if we, like I finished that class on Friday, and he came home, and we went out for dinner, and it was great. Celebrate the little things. Celebrate each other. To anyone else, does it matter? Not a chance in the world. But for us, it's, hey, you know what? I want to celebrate your accomplishment, and I want to be here to support you. And that is something that I think nobody else needs to understand. And especially at our ages, as we've identified what's important to us and what's important in our significant others, it goes back to that evolving notion of, would I have been his choice, his trophy 40 years ago?
Probably not.
Because he was like 6.
Well, and that's the,
excuse me.
and that's the thing. And that
Need
was
some water?
I'm okay.
Something else to drink? Coffee?
Irish.
And I think that's the other thing that we're all starting to realize too, is that as you evolve, with age and time, we wouldn't have thought this way, when we were in our 20s, possibly even in our 30s, because we're still growing, you're still learning. And each one of our experiences, each previous relationship or previous marriage, you learn from those things, right? So all the time that you've had in between, you start to realize this is what I want and this is what I need. So even for me, after 19 years of being by myself and then all of a sudden getting married again, I knew what I needed and what I wanted. And if I couldn't have it, I wasn't going to get married.
Why
Bottom
settle?
line, there was no substitute. There was no buts and ifs. If it didn't come this way and the way I needed it, you can call it a trophy or not, whatever you want to call it. If that man could not be the husband I needed to have in my life, there was never going to be one. Again, bottom line.
And that's okay. I mean, that's what met your needs. That's what fills you to make you complete. Right. Oh.
I mean, I agree, because I know we've said it on this podcast before. Like, I think, one, I focused more time on my career being in the Army, and probably should have never been in any type of relationship back then that was very serious. And then, two, I'm very grateful for having met my wife. And yes, you complete me.
Is that your
Taylor
favorite?
Swift heart.
Taylor Swift. Oh my God.
No, I mean, in all seriousness, no. Like, it is the little things. It's just not too many women could come in. Well, she came into my life when I think I was at the lowest of lows, and it was bad. And we not only picked each other up, but we kept moving. So
Kept moving forward.
yeah, kept moving forward,
Love
never
that.
looking back.
See, trophies are good. It's not for participation.
And that's a good word,
Right.
participation, because trophies and when we go around, I'll just say more about this, but it's not a participation trophy. It's not something that you earn and can display and proudly display, because that's not what a relationship, a husband or a wife is. But I'll go more into that when we get towards the end of our discussion.
For the final words.
Are we
of
there?
Father
Final
Pesce.
words of Father Pesce.
No, we're not there yet.
Final words is going to be good from Father Pesce. So
We've got about another 15 minutes before we.
it's okay. And if we need to end early, we can. It's not we don't have to stretch.
No, I
haven't finished my ending yet, though.
He does it on the
He's
fly.
like,
as we're
look,
sitting here.
everybody. He said he ain't ready to end yet, so we will continue to keep talking until Father Pesce said he is ready to end.
I'll raise my hand and go, it's time.
time out.
until when it's time. But no, I think that overall, I just think that, like I said, our experiences is what counts, and how we all have grown as individuals is what makes us understand what we consider our trophies.
Yes.
And
for everyone who's listening to this podcast, I know you probably thought coming into this about 45 minutes ago, thinking, oh, we're going to talk about how to become a trophy husband, where you can stay home and do everything. No, it's not about that.
Right.
It's about the little things. Like, for Jen, I'm one of those guys. I'm still a sap or a gentleman or whatever you want to
You're a
call
gentleman. You're not
it.
a sap.
There you go.
Right.
But I mean, I still open the car door and the door leading out or in for her all the time, and it's not because it's a traditional thing. It's a respect thing. It's like, I respect my wife enough to be able, like, I'm going to hold your door open for you so you can walk in unimpeded. So there you go. Look, my big word for the day.
Unimpeded?
Yeah.
You know what's interesting that he says that?
I
Is
know.
that, so that to me is important.
yeah, same here.
Same as anything of the what I would call, and I do think it's traditional. I think it's very gentlemanly. And going back to your comment about being in competition, I don't need you to hold my door for me. No, actually, I do.
Thank you.
I want you
Absolutely.
to. And
absolutely.
I do.
Yep.
To me, I think that when I look at the younger men, there are certain things that I, as a woman, regardless of the fact of how much money I make, regardless as to how successful I am, regardless as to my independent nature, I want certain things. Maybe it's, I don't know, nature versus nurture, but for me, the fact that he will hold my seat out for me, that he'll push my seat in, that he'll hold a car door open, those things make him that trophy. Mm-hmm. Those are the things where if somebody were to say to me, what is something your husband does for you? Yes, the fireplace is important. I'm not going to lie. I love a good roaring fire. But it's also, you know what? He makes sure that he stands on the outside.
Absolutely. I was just getting ready to say that. Yep. And those little things, it amazes me how many young men are not taught that. They have no clue about opening a door or walking on the outside, and your woman is to walk on the inside,
or not crossing
or
the
not
poles.
cross. Yeah, please don't do that. Yeah, that drives me crazy when people don't know how to. So if you're walking and there's a pole, you don't split the pole.
No,
like there's a bollard there or a fence post or something,
right?
And one of you goes left and the other
one
goes right.
You're not supposed to do that. Yeah,
So this. Not very many people understand that on this that will be listening to this. It's a quirky thing, right? But it's the thing that I know too, and I as a kid I knew not to do that, but as I grew older I said, it's not important, but it's important to you.
Yes.
So I try not to do that.
No, you let her go first as she walks through, and then
we got to go through together.
Yes.
You never go straddle. The
straddle it. How are you straddling?
They're saying like if it's a light, say like this microphone, right, is a light pole.
She goes to the left, I go to the right, or
you pick up.
You can't.
No, right.
So you should be going together.
This way and that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
It's a little,
Yes,
it's a little
little
quirky,
thing.
but it's a little thing.
But you know what? It's important to her, and that's why she. I think as we're talking, thinking about this word trophy and what it's meant to me over the years, because I used to make fun of it. I used to say when I was in my 20s, I'm good being a trophy wife. I will work out 5 hours a day. Mm-hmm. I will live in a condo somewhere on a beach and just be tan and look a certain way, and I couldn't be further.
She ended up with a redneck. So. Redneck trophy husband. So remember, everyone out there that driving a John Deere, there is hope.
Oh my God,
you're a goofball.
And I guess for me, I've never understood the concept of a trophy wife because I've never been one. Never been one.
Me neither.
Even though I've been married more than once, I've never been one. Never understood that. Why would I want to be one? And I wouldn't want to be looked at that way, because in the time frames and the era of growing up, black women were never looked at that way. We were never considered pretty enough. We were never good enough, and we had to be like white women. We had to have the blonde hair and the blue eyes, which we never had. Our bodies are not framed the same, so we were never good enough to be considered those trophy wives, right? So. And we were never been put on a pedestal. So to ever have that thought, and so when you see those things and you hear those things, and I can remember seeing those types of scenarios on TV, I'm like, I've never seen that before because we've never been considered that. Right? So it's sad
lens.
when you start to think about the concept of how men would even look at a woman in that perspective. And then the worst part is that women actually believe you have to be that way.
Well, so we've had this conversation, you and I think both on air and off air, and with the guys and not, is that our Gen X specifically, we were told, I was told growing up, I had to be skinny, I had to be blonde, I had to have my nails done, eyebrows waxed, the whole 9 yards, don't get fat. Don't eat that piece of cake. Figure out something. Go chew gum. Go get diabetes sucking on lollipops. But do not get fat. and it's crazy, but it is so true. And now here I am 30 years later. I was never a trophy wife. I always took care of my own and provided for Amanda and the rest of it. But there were things that I did do for myself that brought me to where I was when Chris and I met, that I knew that these are the things I need in a husband, to your point, if I'm going to have one. And I did not want to feel that I had to be we met, I was a size 0. I had nothing on me but skin and muscle, but not now. I'm good eating. You want to stick a plate of food in front of me?
Hello.
I will eat that shit. And I will not
Exactly.
think twice about it.
Life is
Exactly.
too short not to enjoy a bowl of
Exactly.
It's funny. That's what we had last night. Made spaghetti with some venison meatballs. It is awesome.
But again, that was something where we got finished doing our chores yesterday. He's like, what do you want for dinner? I was like, oh my God, I would love spaghetti and meatballs. And he went downstairs while I was getting cleaned up.
Cranked it out.
Made spaghetti and meatballs. And you know what? It was damn good. But so the trophy piece, and I'm sure for the two of them, because what is it? Different generation between the two of you. You both have the same mannerisms. You're gentlemanly, you're intelligent, you're charismatic. You put humor before all else. You're respectful, which to your point, young men today are not necessarily taught these things.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
what is it that the younger generations are going to look for that values or that equals that trophy? Because hopefully it's the same things that we look for at this stage of our life. But you never know. They might want somebody who can just, I don't know. I wouldn't even know.
So do you see, Chris, people of your friends that are of your age group are not the same as you? Because I tell you, I'd have to think really hard. I think that for my generation, and we're how old? How
47.
So do the math, right?
I don't do math in public.
Six,
People.
I'm almost 20 years, right?
yeah.
20 years.
So it's if we're being considered like in our mannerisms, I can't say that I see a lot of my generation different than what we are. I can't speak to the earlier generation.
I think like where for me, with a lot of guys and gals that I know that are around, the late 40s going into 50s, it's starting to come back because they're starting to realize I hate to use this analogy, but you catch more bees with honey than anything else, right? And to be able to be, I think it has to do with having respect for yourself. Like, if I did not have respect for myself and care about myself, I'm not going to do that for my wife. And I respect myself and I care about myself now. And that has to translate over into my wife, right? But also, like, I don't recall my father teaching me a lot about it, about, taking care of my mom. It was just one of those everyday things. It was just, that's just what it was. Like, there was no teachings of it. Like, you watched as you learned, and what he did was, kind of a basis for everything that I do now, I guess.
But what about people you're friends with, like in your age group? Do you think any of them, like, can you think of 5 different gentlemen right now? Do they hold car doors open for this?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that, though, also has to do with the military.
But
Yeah.
also, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Because and I think Kim will vouch for this,
Yeah.
there's a lot of times where it's like, oh, you're a hard charger, blah, 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 blah. Just do, you be freaking that person. You don't have to be nice all the time. You don't have to be like, which I will say now, looking back at it, I think there was times when I used to, give pointers to my soldiers like, hey, you better open a fucking car door. You better open the door for your significant other, because that's the right thing to do. Not, it's a respectful thing, but it's the right thing to do. That's how you show, you are worthy of that person, doing certain things. Now, I'll say that, I'll let you know this. I refuse to go in my wife's purse. might hold it for about 4.2 seconds,
God.
but other than that, no, I ain't going in that.
Can we just take it? Does he will he in your purse?
So
Chris will not put his hand in my purse.
He will hold my purse.
Oh, no, he'll hold it.
For a second.
He won't stick his hand in it. He's like, babe, I need my
He'll
glasses.
do that for me if I ask him to.
If she asks for it,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
he
I don't
won't
just go in there and
automatically
rummage
do it,
through.
but he will do it if I ask.
You know what you're going to find in my bag? My wallet or my weapon. I mean, that's really it.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, can you just go in there real quick and get something?
Too much junk in
There's
there.
no problem with that. So.
My wallet and my weapon. Not junk. Oh, and candies.
And candy. There you go. And candy.
Snacks to keep
I do. I have snacks in my purse.
snacks to keep me at bay, so I don't have to go.
Is that bad? But again, it's a little
better
things.
for
You
everyone.
get kibbles?
Yeah,
He does. I do.
Little
I-
jerkies and everything. I'm telling you, man. If I get like
Oh my
eating at
gosh.
06 in the morning before I go to work, it's for the betterment of everyone else. So,
You don't have snacks in case he's hungry? Serious?
He usually has snacks for me.
Oh, see that?
Yeah.
here's your
Keeps
pocket
me-
candy, Hundy.
This is the person that gets up and makes our lunches in the morning too. So he takes good care of us.
And
He's
then
like,
when
honey,
I-
what do you
when I-
want?
when
Peanut
I-
butter and jelly, or do you want a turkey sandwich? And like, whatever you fix, I'm happy with.
See, same
That
thing.
drives me nuts.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie.
She has.
Decisions?
Yeah.
If I ask you a question
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, "Do you want this or this?" and he says, "Whatever you want," or just make me whatever, it drives me crazy.
Like
No,
that-
tell me what you want to eat.
Because we always end up eating the same thing from lunch if we have time, so it
to me,
doesn't
it's
matter
like-
to me.
It's like
So-
if she says whatever you want, it's fine, and I make it, and then she complains, which never happens, then I'd have an issue with it, right? For a second, right? Because basically, sometimes I don't know what the hell I want, right? It's like, what do you want to eat tonight? You didn't take anything out because I don't want to eat anything that's in the refrigerator right now. I want to go out, right? Sometimes I
it's a
don't
really
want to
good
make a
barbecue
decision until the very last moment, right?
I get that.
The very last moment. It's like, oh, I took out steak, but I really don't want steak tonight.
Yeah, I'm there with you on that. But it still drives me crazy. It's like, I asked you what you want to eat. Just tell me. I'll make it.
You got to know now.
No.
Yes.
Like-
Decisions.
Here's my other little thing to go along
Now all
with
of a
the
sudden there's
onion.
two.
To go along with the onion, right? We've been married for a hot minute.
For a hot minute.
Like dang,
hot minute.
Like dang. You don't
you
have
have a
to
hot minute.
ask me if I want any more coffee. Is there still coffee left in the pot? And then it's not in the cup. So there you go. Let's make it happen, Kevin.
It takes you 80 hours to drink a cup of coffee.
Because I like to enjoy it. I like to enjoy my hate in the morning to fuel my progress for the day. Okay? It's kind of like the whiskey at night. I gotta like enjoy it. Okay? It's not about like, hey, look, it's blazing hot. Let's burn the taste buds off our what? 5 minutes?
No.
Oh,
no,
my bad.
You have five
I thought
minutes.
you were saying you had 5 minutes
Yeah,
for your
5 minutes to
coffee.
come
I was
up-
like, you only
yeah.
get to drink 5 minutes of coffee?
5 minutes to come up with the answer for her. What do you want to eat?
No. It's like, I don't care.
I think
love you
sometimes
that
when
you
that-
just made it.
When that question comes up, I think sometimes I just say something that's not here, right? Like Five Guys. It's like,
Oh, no, she'll do
Five Guys. It's like Five Guys, and it's like, oh, I guess we're going out to eat.
Right.
Well, you want to know? That's what I want.
she'll do things and like she did it this morning. She goes, I think the pickled cauliflower is done. I was like, it's not done yet, but because we have like a thing of fermented
Because she
cauliflower.
wants pickled cauliflower.
Well, no, because then she goes, so about having a pastrami sandwich, like, no, because I have to pull the venison out, I have to cure it for 5 to 7 days, I have to make the bread, the sauerkraut's not, or the pickled veg ain't done yet, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you have to give me time. You
I
have to
did.
tell me ahead of time. Like, that might be done
That was
next
your-
week. So,
that was your notice,
not
okay?
in an hour. Not in
Very
an
much.
hour.
So piss poor planning on your part doesn't constitute an emergency on his part.
But it does, because he loves me.
So what he'll do is he'll cure it real quick and like wet. How's
He'll
it gonna
vacuum
cure?
seal it.
He'll vacuum seal it.
Vacuum seal it. See, I know there's solutions to all of these things.
Yeah, she's starting to learn all that stuff. Like with the whole chefness, it's just like, oh, he's gonna cure the piece of venison to make venison pastrami. Oh, it takes about 3 days if you wet cure it. Okay, I got you. And then you have to smoke it for an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I'll get the smoker going. I ain't cooking
Have to
it.
get that up to temp.
Collaborative effort. I understand that.
Or when I made, what did I make last week? Oh, I made baguettes, or I made rolls because we had like some sort of sandwich. Oh, chicken parm sandwiches, and she's like, "Can you make bread?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll make the bread." And when I started doing it, she's like, "How long does this take? God dang, please!" Like, you want me to make bread? It takes at least 4 hours. Why? Why does it take 4 hours?
Oh my gosh.
Why? Because why is a crooked letter that can never be straightened out.
What are you doing over there?
Doodling, because I'm trying to think of what
doodling.
Carmine's going to
She's
say.
excited. All right, you guys. So,
In words by Father Pesce.
Yes.
We're going right into this
we're
thing?
on that
I
note.
didn't even have time to practice this.
On
But,
that note.
but so
That note, yes.
some
Last
great,
words.
Some great conversation today, as always. But one thing is, trophy is really the wrong word in my eyes when we talk about trophy husband, trophy wife. Because trophy is an achievement award to either display or covet, like a World Series trophy, or it's not even a participation award. Just being married doesn't make it a relationship, right? It's or makes a husband and a wife a wife. I think a trophy husband, if we keep calling it this, a good husband, I'll say, is one that your wife or your significant other does not have a list of things that you don't do, or even things or a list that she would want you to do, because if you should know that, and then you have to be able to do it in order to make the relationship work, right? You should be aware of those needs, like I said, and do the best you can to be consistent about it, caring, and most of all, loving in everything you do for her, such as opening the car door, like you said, right? You said earlier, a few minutes ago, that respect for yourself translates to how you treat others in your relationships, and that's really what we're talking about here, your relationship. So all the things that make you that husband, trophy or not, is all those things that you just said. Respect for yourself and how that translates into what you do for others. So that's my little soliloquy.
All right. Well, we all thank you all for coming on tonight. You guys were wonderful guests as usual.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And of course, to be a guest on the show, just reach out to Kimberly at wsbilc@gmail.com. And if you want more of Unveiled podcast shows, monetary donations to support the podcasts are now accepted on Cash App or on PayPal Good Pods tip jar, or go to the website at www.wsbilc.com. Again, we would like to thank you all for listening to us tonight. We'll be back next month on Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Be sure to follow us on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. But until then, enjoy the rest of the evening. Again, good night.
Good night.
Bye.